thing that I'm always interested in when I'm taking on a new client for a full transformation, or just for any amount of health upgrades that they're looking for, whether it's at the resorts and the retreats here in Thailand that I'm working with, or whether it's just somebody online, everybody has a different belief system behind nutrition. Now, unfortunately, we are living in a society where we've been misled about what foods are good for us and what foods are not good for us. We've been completely just tricked, basically. To be honest, we've been tricked. Marketing's a powerful thing, of course, and it's very influential. And I remember my mother, bless her, was always trying to keep us on top of being the healthiest family possible. And I remember when she came home with margarine one day, and she's like, well, butter's bad, so now we're gonna eat margarine. I was like, yay, mommy loves us, you know, she's trying to keep us healthy. Margarine, it's awesome. And gladly, that didn't last very long. I think we kind of wised up to that after not even 6 months or a year or whatever it was. We realized, wow, okay, that's not good for you. It's the simple things like that, just a little story of how we can all get misled so simply by marketing. The word healthy can appear on any label, and we just like, oh, healthy. And we used to be obsessed with low fat. Remember the low fat craze? Well, that was not good. Marshmallows, those are low fat, and those are by no means a health food. So again, just totally misled by scandalous advertising. And so I'm really always interested to know where are we standing with my client with their beliefs? What do they think is good versus what do they know is good? And what have they experienced for themselves to really feel the results and what makes them feel good versus just what someone tells them is good? And so I would like you to just take a moment. You don't need to write it down or just a journal, although that is very, very helpful, but just ask yourself, do I really know what's healthy? And sometimes we know what's not healthy, but we still do it, and that's a whole other topic. But when it comes to healthy, sometimes we really don't know what's healthy because, again, we've just been so misled. For decades, people were throwing away the yellow out of the egg, and that's the best part, you know, and we are all told that that's the bad part. That gives us heart disease, which, of course, egg yellows do not give you heart disease. They're good for your heart. Do not throw away the egg yellow. There's little things like that that we pick up along the way because we don't have a complete system, you know. You shouldn't have to be a nutritionist to go grocery shopping, but these days you almost have to be, maybe not a nutritionist, but you need to be an informed consumer, or else you're going to get tricked again because there's so many misleading labels, and it's just a jungle out there. So it is my mission. It's Transcendent Business Bellies. We are here to provide people with the most just direct information, what's authentically healthy. So sometimes you have to kind of rewire your brain because we're conditioned to kind of to think some things are just inherently good for us, and we've kind of demonized some of the wrong foods. So part of this program, part of my education to you is just really is rewiring your system and showing you, you know what, there's a whole lot going on the outside from what you're not seeing, and these are the tips and the tricks that just might give you these just incredible results that you've been missing and you just didn't know about. And so that's what I'm very excited to be bringing to you. When it comes to our nutritional beliefs and where we are right now with what we think is healthy versus what we know is healthy, we think too much, we don't know enough. And knowing is what gives us power. You know, thinking just confuses us a lot of times in many things in life. But knowing, having that actual experience, like this helped me feel better, or this food was a big part of why I lost, you know, X amount of kilos. And these success stories are so great because then you're confident because you know. It's not just someone told you, oh, you shouldn't eat that and you should start eating this. It's you've experienced it for yourself, and that's what this is all about, is experiencing for yourself and not wasting time anymore taking little tidbits of information from Google, and then in the end just being like, what the heck am I doing? I was doing this for a while and all of a sudden bananas were good, and then all of a sudden cashews were good and bananas were bad, and now you're just confused. So we're gonna break it down for you, but my question for you is this: do you have milk, like cow milk, in your diet every day? Do you have grains, like refined grains, you know, breads and cereals in your diet every day? Do you have sugar or something with sugar every day? If the answer is yes, yes, and yes, then we need to reevaluate your nutritional beliefs. We need to, first, I think sugar, I don't have to ask you, well, do you think that's good? Because I think you know the answer. We all know the answer. Sugar is not good for us. It doesn't give us any benefit. But milk, we tend to feel like that's a health food. And here's the bottom line, is that maybe it used to be a health food, when it was raw and cows were grazing through the grass. But the reality is it's just not like that anymore. Now, you can get a healthy dairy product. Yes, you can. Of course you can. But the reality of it, the truth is that most of the stuff you're buying is not healthy. The reason why is because that dairy product that's sitting on the shelf or in the fridge, but it's been pasteurized and it came from a cow that was in a box, not roaming through the hills and grazing on sprouts and grass like nature intended. Unfortunately, a lot of cows are stuck in boxes these days. They don't get to see the natural sunlight, so they're not getting the vitamin D. They're being pumped full of antibiotics and hormones and God knows what else. And this is just resulting in this toxicity in your food supply. So if milk is in your diet every day, there's a good chance it's been in your diet every day since you were a child. And that's just too much. So if you are here listening to this and you want to make healthy changes, one of the strongest places you can start is, of course, in addition to eliminating or greatly reducing sugar, is addressing the dairy situations. How much dairy, how frequently do I take in? And if the answer is every day, then it's safe to say that's too much. So we have a couple options for that. You don't have to just full-on quit dairy, although I have. For 15, 16 years, I've been dairy-free. I would say 90% of my clients are now dairy-free because they have tried it for themselves. Not just because I told them, because they actually took it out of their diet and then they felt it. Right away, they started to feel less bloated. They started to lose weight faster from just removing the milk. They started to sleep better, or they got less upper respiratory issues. A lot of people have like phlegm and coffee, or like coughing, or just kind of sinus congestion and just this pressure, and it just feels like seasonal allergies or something. But a lot of the time, it's just dairy. You have this buildup of not beneficial bacteria in your stomach from this pasteurized cow milk that's been just loaded with toxins, basically, and it's just not doing your body any good. So it's just not the health food that most of us have been conditioned to believe it is. So it's just not. That's the bottom line. So sugar, remove or greatly reduce from your diet. Dairy, same thing, reduce or eliminate altogether, depending on how much you want to make your, how much lifestyle change you want to make. If you want to go all the way and just make dramatic improvements to your health, then just cut it out for 4 weeks. Just my challenge to you, cut dairy out for 4 weeks, watch what happens. And then when it comes to grains, it's the same thing as the dairy, where the grains today are just not the grains that it used to be. The world has changed. The industrialized food industry has just grown so exponentially fast that we're choosing convenience over quality, and that's hurting a lot of our health. It's hurting many, many people's health because we're just going for the packaged, the fast, the easy, the convenient, the now, and what that's doing is just really destructive to our health. So the grains these days, when they've been refined, whether it's wheat or corn or any derivative of even oats are okay, of course, but when they start to blend and refine these different flours, whatever grain it's from, then they bleach it and then they add all of these different binders and everything, and then you're just eating kind of like a science project. It's not really food nourishing you anymore. It's just giving you the calories, and that's just not going to benefit you. So most of us have just overdone the grains, and so it's in your best interest to, again, just dramatically reduce it or eliminate it altogether. And again, you don't have to look at it as like, I'll never eat bread again. Of course you can. You just can't. You have to address, do I eat bread every day? If the answer is yes, and then the next question is, do I want to get great health results? And the answer is yes, well then you have to make a balance there. You have to reduce and then just watch your health increase as you reduce more until maybe you finally make the decision, you know what, I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to cut it out altogether. And most people who make that choice, they never go back. There'll be the occasional pizza, the occasional slice of bread, no problem. But once you really eliminate and give your body that break, you start to see, wow, my body really likes this. It likes being dairy-free, or it likes being wheat-free, or it likes being sugar-free. And when you get to experience that for yourself, then your body kind of gives you the feedback, and it says, yeah, we like this is good. And the results just speak for themselves.